Scarborough team. He's been very impressive as a Canadian that many people didn't know much about.
And we apologize if we're yelling. It's very loud inside the Sleeman Center. The cans are hot, as they say, so apologies there if it's coming through. But as we get started here, E.J. Onu for Niagara in the white will tip off against Julian Roche of the Nighthawks, where number 34 in blue. And Ahmed Hill has it here to kick this game off with Kat Barber in possession for the Nighthawks. Barber with it. Lawson. Nice little cut there, but it's stolen. And that's Jalen Bab Harrison, the CEBL vet, finding Antonio Davis Jr. on the wing. Back up top to Bab Harrison. 18 on the clock. Up top here is Alonzo Walker. That doesn't go, and it's rebounded there by A.J. Lawson.
You can see right off the bat, Guelph's looking to move the basketball around as much as they can, as quickly as they can to pick up those driving lanes.
And Kat Barber is rejected at the rim there. It lifts off. And underneath here, Alonzo Walker can't get that to go.
Yeah, good transition on this end by Niagara. Alonzo Walker breaking out a little bit, leaking out on that one.
Well, Walker will go to the line here. Alonzo Walker, the 6'7" forward out of Brampton, Ontario, played this past season with Previvza in Slovakia.
And his game, his entire career, has been that of a slasher, great defender, energy guy, huge offensive rebounder.
So 1-0 lead here early on for Guelph as Walker to the line again. He goes 1 for 1, and, excuse me, they just switched up the score on me. It's 2-0 Niagara. Here's Barber with it up top. Over to Lawson. He'll drive, spin, up glass, and that is good. Gets the friendly roll to A.J. Lawson.
And a tough shot. The fact that he had to go so high off the backboard.
Here's Ahmad, the second leading scorer in the CEBL, slithers through a couple of bodies there and puts it up and in.
And he's going up against a very good defender in A.J. Lawson. Good strategy by Guelph by guarding him a little bigger. He's 6'4", and they put on a long defender on him.
Here's Kat Barber with it. He drives, finds a catch on the baseline. That's swatted away. They're going to call a goaltend on the blocks leader in the CEBL, E.J. Onu, who most recently played for the Memphis Hustle of the G League.
And it looked like the ball had gone off the backboard with Ono knocking it away.
On the drive, here's Walker, puts it up with the left. That's good. Here is Kat Barber with it. He pulls up. That's no good. Grabbed there by Bab Harrison. Onu will post up against the 7-footer Roche. Puts up a little sky hook. That is well off. Not exactly Kareem on that sky hook as Hill quickly the other way. Off glass, that's good for Ahmed Hill.
And Roche did a great job for Guelph holding his ground, not letting them dip on the shoulder. And this is what Guelph does. In transition, straight down the floor, straight lines, attacks.
Bab Harrison with it. He's got Barber on him, 10 on the clock. He'll drive, sees the 7-footer Roche, kicks it back up top. Onu pick and pop three. That's no good. Collected there by Lawson.
And Onu hasn't made a three this year, but his resume says that he shoots it real well, shot it really well in the G League.
As A.J. Lawson puts it in from downtown, 9-6, the Nighthawks lead here. 3 minutes off the clock at the Sleeman Center. Walker with it. Resets it up top. Ahmad with it. Drives to the corner. Davis for three, no good. And a foul going the other way. That foul on E.J. Onu underneath, whose ball.
On the push-off. If we keep score of Guelph's offensive efficiency and how much time they need to get there, they are very, very good at using that short clock, first good look, A.J. Lawson in a quick transition situation, knocking down that three.
Here's Cat Barber with it. He'll walk it up and direct some traffic. Roche with it, working the elbows. This was a lot of what Julian Roche did in the opener. And a little miscommunication there on the pick and roll. It goes the other way. Daniel Walden Mullings, the CEBL mainstay, lays it in.
Both these teams will take advantage of turnovers.
And that is kicked out of bounds. It'll be Riverline's ball. T-John Cada out of France, the international import for the Riverlines, checking into this game.
So
trying to figure out who he's taking out. It's going to be Onu.
And one of the key things about substitution is we have to have two Canadians on the floor. So sometimes you're limited to who you can sub in for.
It's a technical foul if you are caught with fewer than two Canadians on the floor at any given time. And that's thrown out of bounds, a little behind the curtain. There's some chatting before the game with the spotters and the officials, trying to pinpoint who are the Canadians, who are the imports. There's got to be someone constantly watching that.
Yeah, there's a couple of fail-safes the league has in place because they don't want to see that call made unless it has to be made.
Hill for three in the corner, no good. Tapped around, and the very tall and long Cada with it. T-John Cada. Here's Walker trying to use a Cada screen. Up to Khalid Ahmad for three. That's good. Khalid Ahmad picking up where he's left off of the last two games.
Yeah, substitutions coming fast and furious for both teams.
A catch down to Lawson. And underneath is Cassidy Ryan, the former Brock Badger, laying it in.
And there's a situation where quickness against big. And it looked like Cassidy Ryan there used just a little bit of a hook to get himself around.
That's going to go the other way. Foul called on Ahmed Hill. Excuse me, that's on the Riverlines. That's going to be on
A.J. Davis, I think.
Yeah, that's it. Antonio Davis Jr. picking up the foul. 11-11 here, but the halfway point of the first quarter. And that is turned over, or it looks like it. It's recovered. It's going to be over and back. Riverline's ball.
Yeah. Went off Guelph, catches back foot there.
Here's Ahmad with it on the inbound. 12 on the clock. He'll drive, sees a couple of bodies at the top of the pick and roll, somehow splits it, finds Mullings. He pulls up for three, leg clock, bails out the Riverlines with a big-time three.
Yeah, you called it right on. They bailed him out with the three. But Guelph had a nice job on those traps, trying to get Ahmad away from the rim.
And there's a nice little twirling finish by Cat Barber to pull those Nighthawks back within one. Out of bounds. We got a media timeout. We'll be back on the other side with more of the first quarter here from Sleeman Center on CBC Gem, CEBL Plus, and 1460 CJOY in Guelph. The Scarborough Shell Weekly Show with me, Sean Woodley, for chatter about Canada's biggest pro sports league, and hear from players, coaches, and personalities to make the CEBL a new basketball experience. Visit CEBL.ca as T. John Tate is on the run after picking up a rebound. It's kicked across. Mullings drives, and that is slapped away.
And you saw Niagara's length on that last attack. They've got a bunch of guys that can block shots. You bring in Keita for A.J. Ono, and all of a sudden you still have length on the floor.
Ahmad, and for Mooney's Tutu recently checked in, the former Carlton star guard, fresh out of playing in Germany, as Alonzo Walker misses the three. Offensive board grabbed by Mullings. Ahmad drives, finds Keita in space. He'll go up and flush it down.
Yeah, nice interior passing with the big man rolling to the basket.
A.J. Lawson with it, directing traffic. He hits Barber on the wing, 14 on the shot clock. Down on the baseline, surveying, trying to get a post entry here for Cassidy Ryan. Mullings doing a good job walling him off, but Ryan slips free and puts it up and in.
Second time he's used the same move, quick spin baseline.
Ahmad with it. At the free throw line, he stops and drives, and that is no good. Stepped out of bounds, did Aketch on the rebound.
Yeah, Khalil Ahmad's got a great handle inside, and he gets to the basket, and his last dribble's always very effective.
Had the nice little hezzy right around the free throw line as well to put the defense on its heels. Yeah. As Sean Miller-Moore checks into the game for the Nighthawks. Olu Ashalu into the game for the River Lions. Tap back out, it'll stay here with the River Lions.
Munis Tutu coming in with his substitution had a run the other day against Edmonton where he scored 9 points in 40 seconds.
And a turnover there. It's going to go to the Nighthawks now, and it's Cat Barber walking it up. About 3 minutes here to go in the first quarter. 1 point game. Ryan with it. Hill finds a wide open cutting. Sean Miller-Moore, Ruggsy, as he's known, jams it down.
Yeah, T-John Keita there got caught looking at the basketball, and Ruggs did a nice job of looking inside for the easy layup.
Here's Keita with it up top, puts it on the deck. That is stolen away. Numbers here for the Nighthawks, but the River Lions rushing back. It's slapped away, and they find it back in their grasp. Ahmad with a brazen triple. That's no good, and a foul's going to be called there underneath on Olu Ashalu. And Cat Barber is going to walk this back up the floor here for his Nighthawks.
Quick blocks are great, but you got to make sure that you're at advantage. If you shoot it when you're on your team's not in an advantage 1-on-2, 1-on-3, 1-on-4, then the chance of the offensive rebound non-existent.
Cat Barber with it. Cassidy Ryan. Miller-Moore drives left, up. And that bounces out, up to Walden Mullings. And Mullings drops it in with the left after a nice little spin move.
Yeah, nice spin inside. Went right at Cat Barber with it.
Barber, the second team All-G Leaguer from this past season. Nice little in and out, and that is going to lead to a bit of a dust-up here with Mooney's Tutu.
Yeah, I think Jake Babick felt that he was going to be picked on there, and he thought he had a pretty good defensive stand, and Barber was looking to make the contact on it, got rewarded.
As we got to look there at that nice little spin move by Daniel Walton Mullings, the longtime vet of the CEBL and the River Lions.
Yeah.
Only team he's ever known.
A defensive specialist and has always been all over the court. Knocked down a three today, had a couple layups already. 7 points. Good start for Daniel Mullings.
Julian Roche with it, working the elbows. Bit of a hard pass there to Barber, but he recovers it. Pulls up for three. That's no good, and Tutu, the guy he was just jawing with, has it. He'll go the other way. Hits Keita on the run, but it's bounced around, and there's a foul underneath, and Olu Ashalu's going to go to the line to shoot two here.
Man, I look at Keita as he's a 6'11 guy who can run. Throwing it down to his ankles, you're taking a chance on there, and I think Niagara got lucky. I think this guy can jump out of the gym. I would love to throw it up there.
Yeah, those will turn into lobs sometime soon, you would think, as the chemistry builds. Ashalou to the line. Olu Ashalou, now in his second season with the River Lions. Went to the finals of the CEBL Summer Series with the Fraser Valley Bandits, and a bit of a surprise run that team went on back in the summer of 2020.
Man, and he was great in the bubble.
So good, so good. Steph Smith into the game here, the backup guard to Kat Barber for the Nighthawks. A bit of miscommunication there. It's stolen by Tutu. He goes the other way, up. And that is a tough finish off glass from Mooney's Tutu.
Real strong take. Looking for the foul, but looking for the finish.
Steph Smith seeing the full court pressure of Tutu. Tutu just getting in the grill of all the point guards of the Nighthawks so far today. We'll take a look here.
Good strong attack. Looking to play through it. He first of all looked for the foul, but then he finished off that strong. Cat Barber showed and took it away. But this is where Niagara has to be careful. Putting them on the free throw line away from the basket is a run stopper.
Steph Smith hits the first. Steph Smith played for the St. John's Red Storm out of Ajax, Ontario. Will celebrate his 23rd birthday in a few weeks' time as Barber checks out. Kylian Rotardier, the second Frenchman to hit the floor in this game, this time for the Nighthawks, wearing number 11. Rotardier, a young player as well. Just turned 20 in February. Here's Ashalou. He'll drive, gets ahead of steam, finds Mullings, pump fake, little crossover action back down to Ashalou with the 6'2" Steph Smith on him, and a foul called there on Steph Smith.
Guelph, of all the teams in the league, does the best job of mixing it up man and zone. They're on the last free throw. They go back into a zone, a little bit of pressure.
And Tutu will inbound from the baseline. Keita with it on the baseline now. Nice little pass to the corner, but Sean Miller-Moore says, no, sir, to Jake Babbage trying to put up his first three-point attempt of the game.
Yeah.
Babbage with it, 7 on the clock. Mullings for 3. That's no good. Steph Smith with the rebound, and the foul's going to be called there on Babbage as well.
So second bad foul in a row for Niagara River Line. When you're trying to get a run going, it's not just the offensive side, it's the defensive side. And allowing teams to get to the free throw line because they're in the bonus.
That is the 5th foul for the River Lions, meaning for the rest of the way, 41 seconds here in the first. The Nighthawks will go to the line. Steph Smith knocks in the first. The River Lions 1-1 so far this season, lost on opening night to the Saskatchewan Rattlers, but ruined ring night for Edmonton.
Yeah, first team to win in Edmonton in 2 years.
Tutu, that's slapped away. Here's Rotardier with it. He pulls up for 3. That is good for Kylian Rotardier.
And that started with Rush getting Little's hand on the ball on a mismatch situation.
1 point lead here. The shot clock and game clock are just about even. So this will be the last shot of the quarter. Mullings, that's tapped away there by Rosh. He couldn't quite grab the steal. Tutu with it. Has to get something up here. Goes for 3. Well short, but it goes out of bounds. Will they call it the end of the quarter? That will be the end.
But at the end of that second quarter, Guelph went to the free throw line, and they used the turnovers to their advantage.
It'll be Tutu, Mullings, Bab Harrison, Ashalou, and Onu on the floor for the River Lions to start the second. Rotardier, Smith, Rosh, Akech, and Miller-Moore. A bench-heavy lineup for Charles Kissy and his Nighthawks. As that's a miss there to open the quarter for Niagara. The Nighthawks with it, looking to pad their lead a little bit. Steph Smith, pull up 3. No good.
And that looked like a long rebound that was going to be an offensive board. All of a sudden, E.J. Onu throws out those limbs.
It's a large man, that is. There's Mullings with a little floater. That bounces around and finds the bottom. Miller Moore up to Akech. It's recovered in the backcourt there by Rotardier. And can't get anything out of it is Mullings. He's hit. He's down. And it'll sort it out here. Looks like there's going to be a foul there on Rotardier.
Well, what a play by Mullings in the front court. Knocked it to the back court. Didn't give up on it. Continued with the steal. Went to the layup. Fought for the rebound.
Into the game for the River Lions to be Alonzo Walker and Khalil Ahmad. Ashley will take a seat, as will Tutu.
And Mullings is staying.
It's a tough dude. No shots on that foul. It'll be a baseline inbound. Here's Onu with it. 14 on the clock. Tapped out. It'll still be Niagara ball here. Bab Harrison looks around, takes it himself, puts it up off glass. Jalen Bab Harrison.
And that's a shooter using his advantage, the skill report, of taking the closeout, knowing it was coming. Mullings there used a foul to get himself off the court. He wasn't good after he got hit the last time down the court.
Antonio Davis Jr. will check into the game as Steph Smith will inbound for the Nighthawks. 26-23, the River Lions lead. Gets it into Miller Moore in the corner. Nice little cut there by Smith. And that goes down. You lost the inbounder.
Turn your head. He's the most important person on the second pass.
Here's Khalil Ahmad. He sees a couple bodies there once again. He's seen those traps, Joe.
Julian Roche has done a real good job with his feet.
And that is out of bounds. It will stay here with the River Lions.
6 seconds on the shot clock.
Got to get something quick, but there's time here to get something good and quick. Walker with it. Ahmad, late clock, puts it up. Well contested. Looking for the foul. He's not going to get it. Tough close to the possession there as the Nighthawks go the other way with Akech on the run. Looking for his own look. He puts it up. Nice little hook shot from Madut Akech.
And that's great defense leading to the run out. Guelph has forced Niagara late into the clock, 3 different occasions, and have forced up pretty well, almost like an air ball.
Akech, the Detroit Mercy alumni from South Sudan. And that's going to be an and one there.
Khalil Ahmad does a great job with the dribble, always in control, looking to probe a little bit, and there he took the foul and into a jump shot.
Enjoy the River Lions and Nighthawks by attending upcoming games, including the River Lions home opener this Friday. Purchase your season ticket, flex pack, and group or single game tickets as well. Visit CEBL.ca to be part of the action. And here is Killian Rotardier with it. He'll drive on Ahmad. Finds Smith. He's got Bab Harrison right up in his grill. Smith. Akech underneath. Stripped away. And Bab Harrison the other way. But there's a lot of bodies there to contend with. And he turns it over.
And there's been a lot of careless turnovers. That's an open dribble.
And an attempted lob is not quite converted there. And a couple of putbacks by Sean Miller Moore, also no good. Bab Harrison the other way, little Euro step. That's off glass too strong. Sloppy play going full back and forth here, and Vic Razzo wants some time to talk it over with his squad. We will take a quick break, come back to the other side with more River Lions and Nighthawks from the Sleeman Center on CBC Gem, CEBL Plus, and CJOY 1460 in Guelph.
His transition D he called embarrassing, so I expect these guys to turn up a notch.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it. And we get things rolling here as Kat Barber walks it up the floor. Barber to Lawson. Recently checked back in. He's trying to find Akech in the paint there, but that is tapped away. Another turnover here as they continue to turn it over. Just playing catch with one another, Joe.
And that was Onu's length, right? You're not used to a guy with 6'7", 6 length.
Bab Harrison, that's a little bit off to the right. He recovers the miss, mid-range J. That's good. Jalen Bab Harrison, the former Hamilton Honey Badger, now in his second year with the River Lions.
And the offensive rebounds have been keeping the River Lions in the game.
Lawson. Akech with it. They'll do a little two-man game. Miller Moore. Barber drives, goes up through contact. Kat Barber showing why he is one of the very best players in the Canadian Elite Basketball League with that burst.
And he's had the experience of going up against 7-footers for a long time in his career, so he knows that his quickness will get him there before the shot blocker comes.
Here's Ahmad probing into the paint. 3 different bodies converge. He's fouled. He's going to go to the line.
And there he switched hands, again under control, switched hands to his left.
He's had a couple of those tonight where lots of traffic in the paint, but he's been able to sort of maneuver himself where he needs to go.
And I think the advantage of being able to trust both hands on the finish is the key for him.
Ahmad misses the first. Ahmad so far tonight, 8 points on 3 of 6 from the field, 2 of 3 from 2-point range, 1 of 3 from downtown, and 3 assists to go along with 2 turnovers as well. And here is kicked out. Oh, that's stolen there once again. This time Ahmad, numbers on the run. A bit of a clumsy fast break, but it's completed there by Alonzo Walker nonetheless.
And that starts with the shot intimidation inside by E.J. Onu. Ahmad got to the middle, realized I'm going to kick it out, and kicked it out blindly.
Barber loses the handle on that one, like it's got butter all over it. There's Lawson for 3, no good. And Onu just barely with those, got to be at least size 16 steps out of bounds.
That's a tough turnover, because the ball could have gone out of bounds. You grab it because that's what you're supposed to do. Good break for Guelph.
And a timeout called here. CEBL Plus is the official OTT platform of the CEBL, filled with behind-the-scenes footage, a library of your favorite games, and never-before-seen action. Visit plus.cebl.ca to sign up today. And hey, if you are so inclined, go and check out CEBL Plus and go watch the other game going on right now between Ottawa and Montreal.
I do 2 screens. I have a 2-player coming in on Thursday. The league has gotten bigger, faster, and better.
Guelph looking to maintain their undefeated status. One of just 3 teams yet to lose a game, and one of those teams hasn't even played yet out in Newfoundland. So the parity on display early on as Ahmed Hill drives. He was the hero last week in their opener. He lays it in.
Fearless attack at the rim. Ahmed Hill doesn't care about any shot blocker.
Here is a steal there by Miller Moore. A little behind the back. Behind the backs it a couple more times and finds Kat Barber there.
It looked like that ball held on one of his cheeks for a second.
I bet Kyle Lowry has that happen sometimes with that big caboose. Behind the back, very dangerous when you have an ample posterior.
How about Kat Barber on that baseline right there? A little bit of show and go. Goes baseline, turns around, lets you fall asleep a little bit, and comes right back on Alonzo Walker.
And Kat Barber to the line here for a couple of shots to try to pull the Nighthawks within 1. Our last media timeout was brought to you by Niagara 2022 Summer Games. Tickets on sale now for as low as $15 once and for all.
Here's Guelph showing you a little bit of that 2-2-1.
And it's not converted there by Davis. Picked up by Walker on the offensive board. Scooped up by the 7-footer Rosh. And here comes Kat Barber once again behind the back in traffic. And there's a foul on the floor. That'll be the third team foul on the River Lions at this point in the quarter. Also 3 fouls on the ledger for the Nighthawks, both a couple away from the bonus.
But with Guelph, a one-on-one situation, the full court Guelph advantage.
Barber for 3. That is cash for Cat Barber. Tossed a little to the bench as well.
And Julian Roche has been very good with the passes. Makes a good read, kicks it out, sets a solid screen.
Davis with it. He'll drive, tries to throw up a bit of a half lob, half pass to Keita, and it's stolen away by Roche. And another doomed lob there from Barber to Lawson that pops out. Keita underneath. Surveys. Finds Tutu. Tutu with the 7-footer on him. A high arcing shot. No chance off the top of the backboard.
Tough shot. Guelph doing a great job defensively of keeping the River Lions on one side of the floor.
Barber with it. He pulls up from the mid-range. That's pulled in by Davis. He'll go the other way quickly here as Tutu looks for something. Cross-court pass over to Walker in the corner. Thinks about it. Pumps. Drives. Back up top. Ahmad for 3. That is cash for Khalil Ahmad, that is, who, of course, had 34 points in the opener.
And that started with the skip pass. Move the defense. Great pass that's underused.
Lawson for 3. No good. Picked up there by Walker, and Ahmad will walk it up with the River Lions ahead by 1. 3 to go here in the second quarter. 2-2. Drives baseline, finds Davis. Back over to Tutu. Up top, Antonio Davis Jr. for 3. Nowhere close, and it just falls into the waiting arms of A.J. Lawson, who will take it the other way. Here's Barber now in the paint. And an and 1 for Cat Barber, fouled on the little excuse me jumper from the mid-range.
And he did a great job of probing, got Antonio Davis up on his feet, and made him pay the price for it.
Check out the CEBL Life podcast hosted by our pal Benang Balsera down the sidelines from us here. He's not doing a podcast right now. He's just gathering info for his podcast. He speaks with some of the stars of the league on and off the court in music, basketball, art, and culture. Visit CEBL.ca and tune in to CEBL Life.
Cat Barber may have gotten a little bit missing in the first quarter, but he's made his presence known in this second quarter.
Certainly has. The 2-point lead here for Guelph as they trade blows back and forth. Ahmad with it. Ashalou. 2-2. A little dump off, and Keita with the two-handed slam on the nice big-to-big pass there by Olu Ashalou.
Once you get middle, good things happen.
Steph Smith drives, and that is a little too strong off the glass as Keita will take it and take it himself. Up there to Ahmad. Thinks about it, but swings it around. Babic now in the corner. Back up the horn to Babic. Catch and shoot. That's no good, but Keita, the enormous man in there, returns the favor from the last time down the floor and hits Ashley with the big-to-big pass.
Yeah, and Keita just stayed long. You got to put a body on him. And Roche is playing lots of minutes, and he's been very physical up till now.
Ahmed Hill. He drives left into traffic. It's slapped out. He's looking for a foul. It's just going to stay with Guelph instead, as a pair of subs will come in for Guelph. Sean Miller-Moore, who's had some moments in this game, as well as Cassidy Ryan, also had a couple moments.
And Guelph's playing a little smaller right now. Ryan against Olu Ashley. Ryan using his quickness. Olu will try his experience.
And Ryan on the inbound gets the pass from Barber and puts it up and in.
And he took Olu out and suckered him back in. That's twice now, 3 times now Ryan Cassidy's used his quickness to score easy bucket.
So what's the thinking here with Cassidy Ryan, the biggest player on the floor right now for the Nighthawks? Well undersized compared to the Ashalou-Keita front court. As Tutu puts up a 3, that's no good. Babic, that's slapped out of bounds, and it's going to be Nighthawks ball. But the thinking there, how do you think Charles Kinsey's trying to attack this very large arrangement for the Riverline?
It'll be with spacing.
Yeah.
Like right there, you saw Ryan Cassidy step outside. Ryan step outside. Olu Ashton comes out and then cuts him back door.
Here's Steph Smith with it. Now in the final minute of play in the second quarter. Miller Moore with it. And Barber tries to go up. He is rejected at the rim before he can even get the ball aloft. And that is under Takeda. Quick little heads-up pass from Mooney's Tutu on the wing, high-low.
Yeah, show the three, attack the basket. That's twice now that they've gone Takeda up in the air where nobody else can get it.
5-second difference, shot and game clock. We're all tied at 41s here at the Sleeman Center. As Ahmed Hill taking his time in no rush here. He'll size up Babic. Beautiful little crossover with the right. Kick to the corner, and it's out of bounds as Cassidy Ryan couldn't control the pass. 8 seconds on the clock for Niagara to do something.
Substitution coming in, taking advantage. Using the last timeout, you use it or lose it.
So there's a ton. Babic on the floor here for Niagara. For Guelph, it's Rotardier, Miller Moore, Akech, Smith, and Ryan. Very bench heavy here for the Nighthawks to close. Ahmad sees the trap. Tutu wide open three. That is good. Cross court. Muniz Tutu knocking down the three. And Khalil Ahmad is happy about that as the man who set that play up.
Not only did he set it up, Bab Harrison stepped to the ball, drew the Guelph defender, and midair, Ahmed changed directions of the pass and kicked out that corner pass. Huge play, huge assist. Very important to finish the half with that run.
That's a 5-point lead for Niagara at the half, 46-40 against Walker, Ahmad, Davis Jr., Onu, and Jalen Bab Harrison. Rosh with it, and that's stolen away there. The 14th turnover now for the Nighthawks right out of the gate. Not how you want to start this half.
No, and I was just ready to say that they play through Rosh quite a bit.
As Khalil Ahmad, they play through him quite a bit on the Riverline side, up to 15 points in the game. Barber with it, recovers it, drives on Ahmad, dumps it off to Rosh, and the big man jams it down.
And as a secondary shot blocker, E.J. Onu rolled over. You can't leave your man. You got to bluff sometimes, because the bluff is as good as a shot blocker than trying to leave your feet.
And the lob attempt there. It's been a tough night for this humble lob so far, as a lot of these lobs have been turnovers or not converted. Onu there, the latest guy to not be able to grab it and throw it down.
And I think in many cases it's been the passer, not the receiver.
Sure. Missed there by Hill, and it'll be Alonzo Walker walking it up. Khalil Ahmad with it. Pops for three. That's no good. But the offensive board is grabbed by Walker. He's fouled going up. He's going to go to the line to shoot two.
So this is where Alonzo Walker is very difficult. He's a very active player, and he flashes. We showed you in the first quarter that he can take it to the rim. But as an offensive rebounder, because he's coming from the perimeter, you don't put a body on him. You know, he's going to get himself to the rim. Got inside position there, now at the free throw line.
And here is Alonzo Walker, the Brampton, Ontario native, at the line. Again, most recently played over in Slovakia, the Portland State product in the NCAA. 6-point lead here for the Riverlines early in the third quarter as Walker knocks down the second. Lawson with it. Drives, left-handed, kicks, and that's deflected out of bounds. We'll stay here with the Riverlines, 14 on the shot clock.
They've got it in time.
Miller Moore on the inbound. Finds Barber. He drives left, up over top of the 6'9" Davis. That is rebounded by Akech, and they're going to count the two for Madud Akech.
Yeah, nice rebound by Akech. Straight up, showed you what he's got, what type of lift he's got. And then E.J. Onu with the big swat on the ball, and the ball was coming down.
Second time the CEBL's leading shot blocker has been called for a goaltend so far in this game. Ahmad with it. They'll drive right around the screen. Finds a cutting Alonzo Walker. A beautiful little set play there, Joe.
Yeah, and Ahmed Hill got caught peeking inside. They took his man off of a Hill, off of Walker.
Akech misses the three. And Bab Harrison has it. Onu underneath.
Yeah,
and he's fouled.
That's all about real estate. Onu got himself in the rim, buried his player. Look at Hill, looks for it, the back cut. Walker goes baseline on this. Easy pass, easy dunk.
Onu with it. Up top to Davis Jr. Bab Harrison. Deep position here for Onu, battling with Akech, and he's called for a travel.
And I think the travel was caused because he's determined to go over his left shoulder on that, though I thought he had, the little baby hook with his left hand.
Akech will take a seat. Cassidy Ryan will check in.
And this lineup has been very good to Guelph, this small lineup.
A 7-point game here. The home side trails. And Miller Moore drives, skies, gets contacted in the air and adjusts and finishes.
You've got to know your scouting report. Who's the slasher? Who's the driver?
And Ahmad somehow bursts the dam and gets through and lays it in. Miller Moore in the corner. Up top. Back to Barber. Calling out the shots. Hill will come and screen for him. He gets Bab Harrison on him. He drives. And a travel called there against Cat Barber. CEBL Mobile is an Android and iOS application that will bring the league's OTT platform, CEBL Plus, and much more to mobile devices. Fans will be able to watch live games and have access to the league's on-demand video content. Also, features screen sharing, enabling fans to cast and watch games on most devices and screens. Visit your app store today and download CEBL Mobile. Here's Antonio Davis Jr. Picked up his dribble, takes a couple steps, and lays it in.
So you got lots of length at that, in this case here at the scorer spot here. And Antonio Davis pressure release. A.J. Lawson wanted to pick up full court. He brought it down, got himself inside the paint, drew the foul.
Antonio Davis Jr., if you're just joining us, yes, that is the Antonio Davis's son, the former Toronto Raptor and Indiana Pacer. Chicago Bulls in there as well. AD had himself a career.
And he's got a sister that plays in the WNBA.
Absolutely. Here's Cassidy Ryan for three. No good, and it's collected there by Ahmad. He'll walk it up. Alonzo Walker. Davis will drive from the baseline. Keita now with it. Recently checked in. Skip pass to the corner. And Davis for three. He got that possession, started with the drive, and finished it with the three.
It's amazing how your confidence builds up after you make your last shot.
Miller Moore with it. Trying that behind the back dribble once again. He's had some trouble with it a couple times. Hill with it. Drives left through a couple bodies, and he is fouled. Ahmed Hill will go to the line here.
Yeah, a little bit of a bailout. He went in on that drive looking for the foul. Didn't look like he was looking for the shot. But that's his experience. He's very good and solid attacking the rim like that.
Take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, which is the thing we get to do because there are just so darn many games being played across the CEBL. As it stands, 26-24, the Ottawa Blackjacks lead the Montreal Alliance early on in their contest.
How about a rocking arena that is? The Verdun Center.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it is in the Verdun Center, my mistake. Montreal picked up their first win in franchise history over the weekend against the Scarborough Shooting Stars. And the team captain, the homecoming man, Kemi Osei, with the Elam-ending winner in that one. Steal there in the backcourt, a little spin move by Hill, and he gets it to fall. And the Nighthawks back within single digits as the full court pressure give a little trouble to the River Lions.
And it's what Guelph's doing right now, using Hill for pressure. Whoever brings the ball up as a secondary ball handler, they're going to put pressure on him. Bab Harrison was stripped there because Hill was on him.
And Hill, of course, turned that game against Scarborough last week around. Another turnover here for the River Lions, but Hill with a couple of steals, a couple of late dunks, and 10 straight points in that game last week on Thursday, as Ahmed Hill had a tough shooting night up until then and completely took over.
Absolutely. He just controlled the end of that game. And he did it on defense on those 2 quick steals.
Trying to string a run together here. Hill for 3. That's no good. And Ahmed will have it here for the River Lions. Walking it up. Tries to snake by Lawson. Floater in the paint. No good. Lawson with the board. Barber with it. To the corner. Miller Moore up top. Back to Barber. He'll drive left. And he's fouled there by Khalil Ahmad.
Guelph has won the battle of drawing the fouls. And this is what Cat Barber's done in this league for 2 years. He gets middle. And when he gets middle, that's when the good decisions start coming.
Steph Smith will check in here as Ahmad Hill will take a quick seat. Antonio Davis Jr. out of the game. Jake Babbage in for Niagara. Munis Tutu also recently on the floor here for the River Lions as well. Barber might have had his foot on the line. That was a 2 there for Cat Barber on the pull-up.
A contested 2.
Yeah.
Keita was all over him on that.
Keita with it. He's got Babbage. And Ahmad shakes loose of Miller Moore. Pulls up for 3. Khalil Ahmad lighting it up here.
Showing us he's shooting the ball. Quality scorer. That's tough for your point guard when you have a point guard who can score that well to keep the ball distributing.
20 points on the night now for Khalil Ahmad. His 3rd straight 20-point effort here to open the season. That's a lie. Ahmad had 17 in the last game. Giving up too much credit here, Joe. As Tutu falls but finds Alonzo Walker, who puts it up and in. 10-point game.
So the advantage again of throwing that skip pass, moving the defense, forcing closeouts.
Miller Moore in the corner. That's no good. And Niagara looking to build upon their double-digit lead here on the road. 3:50 to go in the 3rd quarter. Ahmad with it. He's been hot here. 8 points in the quarter. Drives, tries to dump it off to Keita, but is turned over. And we've reached the media timeout here in the 3rd quarter. On the other side, the conclusion of the 3rd between Guelph and Niagara. You're watching the CEBL. Oh, we got not going to break.
We got a lot, some second unit guys out there, but Guelph's not taking off Lawson or Barber. They're sticking with them right through.
Got to stick with your guys when you're down this much. This close to the Elam ending. Cat Barber with it as he walks it up for Guelph. He drives left into the corner. Miller Moore for 3. That's the 2nd straight corner 3 missed by Miller Moore as Keita running the floor with it. That's a big man moving real fast, but an offensive foul. And, sorry, go ahead.
Moving real fast, good handle. Not a bad pass off, but he admired his pass and ran into a charge.
There's been a notable injury absence so far in the half for the River Lions. Daniel Walden Mullings did not come out to the floor with the River Lions to start the second half. He's there now. Let's send it down to D. What's the story on Walden Mullings?
Yeah, I just had an opportunity to talk to the training staff, and it's a lower leg injury for Daniel, and he will not be returning for the second half.
So no more Walden Mullings on the game for the River Lions as Keita, offensive rebound, collects it. Babbage up top for 3. And it's scooped up there by Steph Smith. Going the other way for Guelph. Barber for 3. That's way strong. Right into the hands of Ahmad. He doesn't run it. Slow plotting, but a nice outlet pass there for Tutu. Slapped around, and it's passed there to Steph Smith. And there's going to be a foul called there.
Right now, you see a little bit of tired shooting in the 3s.
Right.
Cat Barber hasn't had a break here, 7 straight minutes. A couple guys playing more minutes than they're used to, so you saw 3 threes missed there by both teams.
And Walden Mullings, with that lower leg injury, thanks to D for filling us in there. What does that do for the River Lions rotation to not have him available?
Well, he's one of your best defensive players, and we saw 9 points in the first quarter.
We had him lined up as our halftime interview until it was revealed he was hurt, so speaks to how important he was in that first half for Vic Razzo. As a turnover there by Guelph, another one. I feel like I'm on a broken record tonight, Joe.
Yeah, and again, another unforced turnover, right? A skip pass, just off target.
Ahmed Hill's coming to the scorer's table. He's going to check in shortly here for Guelph after taking a quick blow. And here's Jake Babbage with it. To Bab Harrison. He's going to drive on Lawson. It's a lot of length to contend with, and he does it just fine, thank you, as he drops it in.
Again, the fact that the scouting report says he's a shooter allows for a quick closeout, and it's easier to beat any closeout that's coming right at you.
Miller Moore underneath. Can't get it to go. Scooped up in numbers now for Niagara. 2-2 on the wing. He'll put it up. Or to the corner, that is, for Bab Harrison. And Jalen Bab Harrison, a little personal 5-0 run. Under 2 minutes to play here, under 90 seconds to play, that is. There's another turnover for Guelph. And they're back on the run as Alonzo Walker puts it in with the left. As it swirls around the cup, there's a timeout called by Charles Kissy on the Guelph bench. Not happy as his squad is down 17 points here, 71-54. Joe, the turnovers, my goodness. What's Charles Kissy, what's going on in his head watching his team turn it over this carelessly? Hill, Lawson, Akech, Rotardier, and Kat Barber. It's Walker, Bab Harrison, Babbage, Ashalou, and Muniz Tutu closing out the frame here for Vic Razzo's River Lions.
Rotardier had a very good first half, I thought. Niagara's doing a better job right now of trying to eliminate the ball in Kat Barber's hands.
Barber, beautiful little pass fake there, pulls up for 3, and that's cash.
I spoke too soon.
Isn't that just like the curse of broadcasting? You're always about to say something that's going to be outdated in seconds. There's Ashalou. Gets his own miss, puts it back up, can't get it to go. Walker, his own miss, also can't get it to go. And that is bobbled, and it's going to be an over and back, and a turnover by the River Lions.
Yeah, great series by the River Lions. 4 opportunities, and then just a careless kick out. You lose focus, you lose attention, and all of a sudden you're in trouble. Guelph's doing a nice job here of using that timeout to try to build a little bit of a run.
They've got a 2-for-1 opportunity here as well, late here in the quarter.
Yeah, good time to get Kat Barber his only blow of the second half.
Barber will take a quick seat. Lawson with it. He's got 2-2 on him. He drives left, 2-2 right in his shirt, and he plucks it away, going the other way for the River Lions. Tosses it off to Babbage. That's well off, and it's collected there. The shot clock is now off for Guelph, who can hold for the last shot. And Tutu slides in a little late. It's going to be a blocking foul on Muniz Tutu, who's been a menace defensively so far in this one for the River Lions.
And that's a time and score situation. Niagara had 14 fouls, knowing this one brings them into the bonus. So maybe if you're not in bonus, then it's a great foul.
Hill to the line. He'll shoot 2 in the penalty. E.J. Onu going to check in here for a second. He's scoreless so far for the River Lions and has no blocks. He's not doing the things we typically see from E.J. Onu.
But the fact that he's on the floor, you know he's there.
Yeah. It's a large man to contend with as Hill goes 1 of 2 at the line. Ashley with the rebound. Shot clock is off here. And Ashley doesn't seem concerned about slowing it down for the last shot, but they look like they will do that now as they reset with Babbage up top. 8 to go. Tries to take the Ashley screen. Hits a cutting Tutu who has to nobody over the head. A nice enterprising idea by Tutu, but no one on the receiving end of that pass.
I thought he had himself a layup. It was a great cut. Then got just a little ambitious with it. And the key part there for Niagara was they got the last shot and they get the ball to start the fourth quarter.
2-2 grimacing a little bit after that play. We'll keep an eye on that. As the quarter comes to an end, 71-58, the River Lions lead. The Guelph Nighthawks, the home side, going to have to do some work to come back here ahead of the Elam ending in the fourth quarter. It's all coming up on the other side here on CBC Gem CEBL Plus. Of course, the clocks will shut off, or at least the first stoppage after the 4-minute mark, and the Elam ending will commence. Coach Joe Razzo, what do the Nighthawks have to do here? Just a pretty miserable quarter for them in that third quarter.
Yeah, well, a team that only had 4 turnovers against Scarborough, they got to keep possession of the ball. And then they got to rely on their pressure on the basketball.
Here's 2-2 with it. Of course, the Nighthawks did come back from not quite this deficit, but they were down before coming back to a win last week against Scarborough on Thursday. So they have it in them. EJ Onu, little handoff with Tutu. Quick little pass up to Ashalou. But Ashalou can't carve out the space deep, and that's going to be a turnover. Guelph ball, good start for the Nighthawks.
A great high-low. Olu Ashalou had the inside position and kind of leaned on his defender instead of just holding his ground and just stepping to the ball. That should have been an easy 2.
That's not an easy man to move, Olu Ashalou. That is a large specimen. Here is Akech with it. And Hill just wipes out on the floor. Tutu the other way. Another careless pass by Tutu, and it's a turnover into the hands of Guelph. Akech into the corner for Hill. Cashes the 3. Makes good on falling down on the previous possession. But he is holding his hand, it seems.
Sometimes you think it's the basketball gods get their way. You know, I realized he had A.J. Lawson running him down for the block and Babic chasing him. Just got a little bit too cute with it, maybe a little bit too much mustard. And then right in return, boom, there's a dagger 3.
Another example where Tutu could have probably just gone into the body, right? Maybe get a foul, maybe get a bucket. Here's Khalil Ahmad with it, leading the way for 20 points here for the River Lions tonight. Jake Babic up top. Ahmad with it, gets it back. He'll drive. Tries to put up a little pass to Onu, but that's deflected in another turnover here for the River Lions. Akech with it. Hill drives to the corner. Lawson for 3. Cash.
Controlling the start of this third quarter. Guelph does it on the defensive end, takes advantage on the offensive end.
Now just a 7-point game here as Guelph is making a comeback. Can they complete it? They foul Ahmad there. That'll be a slide out of bounds.
And we asked me earlier, where do you miss Daniel Walden's Mully? This is the point of the game where his experience would come on the floor.
Babic will inbound it here to Ahmad. Bab Harrison with Lawson on him. Contested triple. And they're still skunked here so far in the quarter. Lawson with it. Akech on the catch for 3, no good. And Lawson picks up the loose ball, and it's an and 1. A.J. Lawson going to the line to cut it potentially to just 4 points.
So we had a 17-point lead, and all of a sudden, you take your foot off the gas, you give team a little bit of life, you miss an easy one, and they come right back at you, and in no time, we got ourselves a ball game.
That's a 12-0 run since the end of the third quarter, and Vic Razzo needs a timeout to talk it over with his crew. We will come back on the other side here on CEBL Plus. The fest here as the River Lions have given up a 12-0 run. A.J. Lawson at the line looking to make it a 13-0 run to cut the lead. It was 71-54 at the 3:41 mark of the third quarter, Joe.
And then all of a sudden you lose your concentration. We saw in that last offense, that last rebound, the ball hit the ground and nobody for Niagara went after it.
Khalil Ahmad with it. Down to the corner, Bab Harrison for 3. That is way off. And the run can continue here for Guelph as Rotardier has it. He drives left, goes up, tries to yam it down, and a foul is called. Killian Rotardier, not quite as dramatic, the free throws, but he'll get free throws nonetheless.
Yeah, and he took that straight to the basket. And Tijan Keita, who's the shot blocker, was right there, but not looking at the basketball, staring at his man.
Little French on French, almost violence up there. By the way, there have been celebrities in the house all through the beginning of the CEBL season. Of course, beginning with J. Cole last week, playing in the game for the Shooting Stars. But real basketball royalty sideline today, Jamal Murray in the house. Joe, what's it been like to see all these NBA guys supporting the CEBL? You've had Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, O'Shea Brissett, Lou Dort, Chris Boucher. It's awesome.
They all grew up together, and now all the other guys support them, and now it's their chance to support. And Jamal Murray being the local guy here out of Kitchener, great to see him here.
Bab Harrison for three. That is good. Bab Harrison ends the run there. It was a 13-0 run for the Nighthawks.
And Bab Harrison showed you got a shooter's mentality. Last ball, he missed it. It was an air ball, three, takes it.
Rotartier misses the triple. Going the other way here. And a foul. That's going to go the other way. Tijan Keita is called for the offensive foul. Try to carve out some space, hooking there with his arm, and gets dinged for it as E.J. Onu will check out. Antonio Davis Jr. into the game.
Got to see it up. Got to call it.
Joe Razzo here, speaking with head official Guy Cipriani. There's Ahmad Hill, no good.
There's so many things to watch on the floor.
Yeah.
We're watching the game, we're watching the calls, the pressure, and then we've got the two Canadian rule that you've got to always keep an eye on because that's a technical foul when that doesn't happen.
Keita goes up, drops it into the lane. That's a dexterous man at his size and length. And the answer to the size, Julian Roche, is at the scorer's table about to check in as Sean Miller-Moore drives in from the right corner. Kicked back out, swung to the top. A.J. Lawson for three. That is good for Lawson. As Niagara went on a bit of a run there to punch back, and now it's back to a single-digit game.
And Guelph used the skip pass in reverse there.
Sorry, there was a score error there. It's 77-70. I think that's 79-70 for Niagara after that bucket. Here's Miller-Moore driving left. He likes doing that. Into the corner. Ahmed Hill with it. Oh, beautiful crossover. Tries to throw down on the Frenchman Keita. He's going to go to the line. We've been robbed of a couple of dunks here, Joe.
Wow, and there's a lot of length coming. I think what happens is you get some of these big guys from Niagara are just getting a little bit too close. And they're allowing it. They're inviting it, and there's nobody behind them to stop it.
A nasty, nasty crossover there by Ahmed Hill, who's taken a bit of a beating here in the second half. He's looking a little labored as he walks to the line for a couple of free throws.
I'd like to say that Guelph has a little cat and a lot of dog on them because Ahmed Hill leads the league in getting on the floor.
Absolutely. As the first goes in for Hill, we'll tell you to get the latest gear from New Era, the official merchandise supplier of the CEBL. Support your favorite team and order your swag online today at cebl.ca/shop. Here's Ahmad with it. He puts it up. That is swatted away by Julian Roche. There's a bit of confusion over the score. Believe 78-72 is correct as it stands right now, as it'll be a set of free throws here, it looks like.
But if you look at the foul situation, Guelph has, as much as Guelph has turned the ball over, and Guelph has done a great job of not shooting themselves in the foot by putting Niagara in the bonus.
Right.
They've gone 3 quarters now without allowing Niagara to get into the bonus situation. So quality fouls, giving themselves the advantage.
These will be just the 8th and 9th free throws. Excuse me, the 11th and 12th free throws for the River Lions. Both good. 10-point game, 82-72. Cat Barber with it. Barber, mid-range pull-up. That is cash for Cat Barber.
That's a sensational shot. That's why he's a 10-day call-up. That was against huge length. That's the second time now that he's shot the ball over Tatum.
80-74 the score here. The River Lions lead. 1:20 to go till Elam ending time, and that's a big-time bucket for Khalil Ahmad, knocking down the three.
Yeah, not great offense there, but when you got Ahmad, you got to give him his look.
And that is laid in by Cat Barber, going the other way. And there's some score confusion again. They just want to get it right here, so they stop the play. Vic Razzo not happy that they have stopped the play to fix the score.
Yeah, the score showed 82 Niagara, and then it went back to 80, and usually they would call the officials over before that happened, and the score changed as the game was going on.
It's surprised there hasn't been a ref conference at the scorers table to discuss it just yet.
Yeah, no, yeah. So now we've got a lot of question marks right now. The officials still haven't dealt with this. The scores table is trying to secure the right score.
They're saying it's 83-77 now. Vic Razzo still saying the score is wrong. Again, not much in terms of ref communication as they now converge together over here.
No, you expect better management to come over here because the score changed twice now without the officials being involved.
So Tony Turnbull, the crew chief, now chatting over at the scorers table. And 83-76 is the score. It's been figured out. And they'll pick it back up here as the River Lions will inbound with a full shot clock to work with 4:58 to play.
When there's a 4-point spread on it, you're kind of happy they correct it.
Yeah, you want to make sure that's right when it's this close, especially with the Elam ending coming up very, very shortly here as well. Less than a minute now. As that is booted away, but it's deflected by Hill. It'll be River Lions ball, 15 to play on the clock.
Niagara's going to need a little bit of pressure release because you can't go mismatch. Ahmed Hill picking you up full court. If you're not the primary ball handler, you're playing with danger.
See John Cada with it up top. Here's Antonio Davis Jr. He'll drive. Crosses over, goes baseline, and that is swatted by Julian Roche. Big time block there by the big man.
Great block on the reverse side of the rim and kept the ball alive, and Davis knocks it out himself.
Here's Cat Barber with it down 7. Elam ending time, now just 30 seconds away. Barber, no good. Ahmad with it, walking it up. He'll drive into the paint. Once again, Khalil Ahmad, a massive and one for the leading scorer of the night for the River Lions. Once again, Ahmad to the line to try to make this a 10-point cushion.
A great change of pace, but not only that, a great change of dribble. He extends his dribble, keeps it close, extends it, got a real good knack. This is why he was one of the all-time leading scorers at Cal State Fullerton.
Ahmad looking darn good here as he converts the three-point play. Most recently played his ball over in Denmark. Here's Cat Barber driving, and he finishes with the left. Little battle of the point guards here.
And almost a 2-for-1 situation because Guelph wanted to score. Guelph wanted to score before the ball went into Elam time. So here you are at 4-1. The advantage here is a team that's behind.
Yeah.
Because you can keep this clock running.
As Mooney's Tutu will check in here, Alonzo Walker will take a seat for the River Lions. Again, 1 second, and then the next stoppage will bring Elam ending rules into effect, which we'll explain for you if you're unclear or uninitiated very shortly. Ahmad in. Now a quick attack here, and the lob to Keita. Again, they can't convert on the lob. That's a very errant pass. They're going to be working on that in practice, Joe.
Wow, they're throwing it where the guy is instead of just throwing it at the rim. These guys are so high over the rim, I think I can make that pass.
Elam Ending coming up in just a second here, as it's an 8-point lead for Niagara between the River Lions and the Nighthawks here on CEBL plus CBC Gem. The home side has some work to do here as the Guelph Nighthawks trail as we begin the Elam Ending. Again, the clocks are shut off. 9 points have been added to Niagara's scores as the team in the lead. 95 is the target score these teams will play to. First to 95 wins. Kat Barber knocks it down. Pull up Jay to cut it to 6.
Yeah, we're scoring the first basket. It seemed to be very important in Elam time. Guelph did a great job against Scarborough in Elam time. We're very aggressive.
And Khalil Ahmad sees the double team up high and swings to Muniz Tutu in the corner, who drains the catch and shoot three. Now just 6 points needed for the River Lions.
Niagara's done a great job of attacking the double team.
And Barber can't get that to go, as Ahmad is fouled by Akech there. Probably a decent foul to take, considering they're not in the bonus and they did not have the numbers there.
You're absolutely right. So what's the risk reward? I almost had a chance at a double team there. Big shot by Tutu in that corner three. Often the team that has the lead, that gets scores the first basket, kind of builds momentum in Elam time.
Both teams now on 4 fouls, meaning the other team will shoot the next time they commit an infraction. Across court here, a little bit of a broken play. Bab Harrison trying to bail it out. He'll drive by Akech, go up with the left. Off glass, that's good. Jalen Bab Harrison. A big second half here for Bab Harrison.
What you have to remember about Ahmed is he's 6'4", so he's a big guard to double.
14 points now for Bab Harrison as A.J. Lawson with the tight little floater. 91-82, 4 points needed here for Niagara to pull out the victory.
We're seeing some big-time pro skill moves on people taking the ball to the basket.
And a foul there called on A.J. Lawson, so Antonio Davis Jr. will go to the line. The River Lions host the expansion Montreal Alliance in their home opener this Friday, June the 3rd, with tip-off scheduled for 7 p.m. Eastern. As well, the Battle of Highway 6 rivalry kicks off this Thursday, June the 2nd, as the Nighthawks travel south to the First Ontario Center to take on the Hamilton Honey Badgers. That one gets going at 7 p.m. You'll be on the call for that one.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. Right now, this is the first time Niagara shot the bonus today. And again, pressure release. Guelph's picking up full court. You had the privilege, or the opportunity to get someone like A.J. Davis, who's a big, who can handle the ball pretty well. Forced the contact and got himself to the free throw line.
Davis to the line. He hit the first, looking for the second here. It's no good, and it's grabbed by Barber. The River Lions need 3 points. Here's Barber with it. Sizes up Tutu, spins around, and a foul is going to be called there, and it'll be shots for Barber as the River Lions are also over the limit.
Yeah, Cat Barber, again, his MO is get middle, and then he'll make things happen. He makes the read. He's hot right now, and he's got a lot of confidence in shooting the basketball. He's a tough check if you're not going to bring some type of help in.
Get a load of this Guelph crowd all standing here for the Elam Ending. Pretty awesome finish to this one as Barber hits the first. The one thing I would say about the Elam Ending, Joe, I love it. I think the NBA should adopt it for at least overtime immediately. I wish they would reset the fouls so you're not so quickly into the bonus. Knocked down there by Barber. It's an 8-point game, 92-84. A timeout called by Vic Raza to talk things over. Let's stay here, Joe.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that part because I think you got it for Guelph. Maybe the bluff now becomes as good as the double has been.
Decided to bounds in FIBA rules here in the last 2 minutes under Elam time. So 14 on the clock as the River Lions choose to advance it. They would have had 24 seconds had they not, but here they go. Looking for a 3 to win. Ahmad going for it now, and that's good. Khalil Ahmad with the game-winning triple. The Niagara River Lions pick up their second victory, hand the Guelph Nighthawks their first loss of the season. Khalil Ahmad doing what he's done all night long with the big-time game-winning triple.
And that ATO, that after timeout call, was absolutely sensational. You know, calling a set play, getting your best player who's knocked down 30 points already, getting him a good look, and that's why they brought the ball to the side out of bounds. They didn't want to deal with the ball pressure.